Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we are starting my RETOLADATHON vlog for 2024. This is going to be the start of week 1 of my retelling themed readathon. I will link the announcement video as well as all the other information down below in the description. This is the second year for this readathon, so it's still kind of a baby readathon and is one of the core readathons that I host. I host 6 main readathons every year, and now we've added in randomathon, which is something I'm going to be doing a couple times a year where the theme changes, but this is one of the core 6 as I call it. Pretty self-explanatory. I will be reading only retellings for the next 2 weeks. We do have 5 reading challenges per usual. So the first reading challenge is Crown on the Cover. The second is With a Curse. Third is About a Princess. 4 is a retelling mashup. And 5 is Set in a Forest. I will also link my RETOLADATHON TBR if you want to go check it out. I talk about the books that I'm wanting to read for these in particular challenges. As usual, we can kind of combine these challenges or mix them up. I also have a bingo board that lists different kinds of retellings because I didn't want to just make the reading challenges like read a Cinderella retelling, read a fairy tale. I wanted them to be a little bit more specific, like the Crown on the Cover. I still wanted to challenge us to read different kinds of retellings, so I created this bingo board so you can use this combined with the reading challenges. You can not do it at all. You can do 3, you can black it out. So you can do a Cinderella retelling with a Crown on the Cover that's set in a forest. We make things pretty easy and combinable here. Of course, my super extra self is going to be trying to do all 5 reading challenges and as many of the bingo squares as I can. Last year I tried to read a different retelling every single day. I don't think I'm going to be doing that this time just because some of the ones I want to get to are longer than what I normally do for readathons, but we'll just see how things go. I will warn you that we went on vacation at the end of July, and then when I came home I was like not feeling the best. The allergies are really bad, the heat's kind of getting to me, and I have only finished 1 book in the past 2 weeks, and I had already started it before I went on my trip. Little bit of a reading slump mode. I have not done this in literal years. Like I think like 7 years have I gone this long without consistently reading every day, but it was kind of nice. I gave myself a break. I listened to some podcasts, I watched some TV, I kind of just rejuvenated, and I feel ready to go and jump into some retellings with you. So for today, it is Monday. I am headed out pretty soon to head to work. Monday is the only day that I don't work from home. I think I'm also going to watch The Bachelor with my sister tonight, which unfortunately does not air until 8 p.m. But you guys, I have been a Bachelor/Bachelorette fan for literally so long. It's insane. And my sister is finally joining in with me, and it is so fun because we've been talking about the show together and she's been sending me like memes and things. I don't have any other friends that watch The Bachelor anymore, so it has been an absolute blast. We're gonna see if we are able to watch it live tonight. So this may be kind of a funky day because I don't like to film when I'm at work and I'm not sure how much time I will have to physically read. The good news is that I have plenty of time to do audiobooks while I'm working, and I actually get most of my reading done at work via audiobook. So I have a huge stack of retelling books into my living room. I will take you a little bit later, probably tomorrow, scan over my entertainment center and my coffee table where we have everything so you can see all my options. There's still like a ton over here. The reason I pick out so many is A, just for different mood changes. I also will kind of pay attention to what you guys are all reading, and if like a lot of people are loving like a certain one, then I will pick that one up if I have it available to physically read or on audio. I think I have 52 audiobooks checked out just in case my mood changes. I get most of them through Libby, and I have a few on Hoopla as well, which are free apps through the library. So super, super good. So the audiobook that I'm starting today is Spelled by Betsy Show. I have had this one for so incredibly long. I think the entire series is a Wizard of Oz retelling. I believe it's a trilogy. I still am working on finishing up my series. I'm doing really good. I'm down to 5. I'm trying not to start too many new ones for the readathon so that I can start new ones in the fall because there's a lot of fall ones I want to get to. We're going to try to only start 3 series this week, 3 series or duologies, so that I don't have too many left over. But I think we're going to start with this one because this is only an 8-hour audiobook, so it'll only take me about 4.5 hours to listen to it at the speed I listen to. Going in blind a little bit, I am going to bring some books to take pictures of at my mom's house because her front door has these like really nice columns that I feel like I can use for something. And then I'm also going to bring 1 or 2 to possibly physically read today because we'll have some time to kill in between work and watching The Bachelor. So hopefully we can get a nice start for today. We got a little bit of a funky week ahead of us, and that is it for now. I'll hopefully check in with you guys a little bit later, but otherwise I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, here is the entertainment setup. So this is my main TBR minus Dance with the Fae Prince, because I don't have a copy of that one, but I'm kind of iffy on it. We have my little Snow White ornament. She's very cute. I've got this little planter that I have some of my retelling bookmarks. We've got Cinderella. I have a little Secret Garden tin with some pins. I got my sweet castle candle. I have a little fairy tale tin. We have this epic haunted castle, Halloween castle, that I got for Halloween, but how perfect is this for the readathon? I found this at HomeGoods. And then we have some more of my TBR over here, just randomly on this like log. This is a camera that we use to like watch ledge and stuff. And yeah, this is the main setup. I have a lot more of the TBR books behind me as well, but it's kind of messy. So this is what we are starting with. Good morning, happy Retoladathon day 2. So it is actually noon on Tuesday. I'm just now checking in. I did wind up watching The Bachelorette at my mom's house yesterday with my sister. It was such a great episode, and my sister watching it with me and like discussing it and getting really into it is just everything I've wanted for like the past 4 years. So we had a great time, but because of that, I did not have the best start for a readathon. We were also talking and stuff a little bit more while we worked, so I did not finish a book, which I think this is the first time I have not finished a book on day 1 in like a long time. Normally I try to finish like a book almost every day. My goal is going to be to try and finish 5, which should be doable, but we do have a little bit of a busier week. So I shifted gears because I started Spelled on audio and I was just not feeling the style of the story and the narrator. It wasn't bad at all, but it definitely had more of like a kind of silly, fun, high school fairy tale vibe, like a younger YA vibe. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that, and that is perfect. I might pick it up again like later in the week. I just wanted something a little bit more engaging and a little bit more on the serious side, like a tiny bit. So I listened to some of my audiobooks that were under 10 hours. I listened to the first like chapter or so, and I went with Of Beast and Beauty by Stacey J. I was not actually planning on reading this one for the readathon, but Julia Whalen is the narrator for the audiobook, and she's one of my favorite narrators, and it was just so intriguing. So in this one, we are in the domed city of Wan, and the blind princess Isra, a smooth skin, is raised to be a human sacrifice whose death will ensure her city's vitality. In the desert outside Wan, Jim, a mutant beast, fights to save his people, known as the Monstrous, from starvation. Neither dreams that together they could return the balance to the world. Isra wants to help the city's banished people, second-class citizens despised for possessing monstrous traits, but after she enlists the aid of her prisoner Jem, who has been captured while trying to steal Wan's enchanted roses, she begins to care for him and to question everything she has been brought up to believe. We do have a nice twist on the story because Iris is a princess and she winds up capturing Jim, who is technically like the beast, but she is holding him captive. So we have a little bit of a nice twist on the fairy tale, and there's like these enchanted roses. There was like this enchantress that came in that caused this divide between the people, where there are these monstrous people with these different type of traits and these smooth skinned people that want to keep them out, and they all live in like these domed kingdoms to protect themselves from the monstrous. And it has been years and years and years, and the story has been diluted over time, and the monstrous aren't exactly what the smooth skinned people think they are, and vice versa. It's just really, really interesting. It almost has like a sci-fi feel to it, but a very heavy fantasy feel as well. There's a romance, of course, and I'm really, really liking it. It is actually kind of reminding me of One Dark Window. They have like similar vibes because there's like a monster and there's a curse and there's people with these monstrous traits and they kind of have to hide them. So not like the same, and this one's not a retelling, but it's giving me like similar vibes. So if you liked this kind of feel, this one is reminding me of it. It's extremely unique. So I got halfway through. I think I have 3 hours left, or just under 3 hours in the audiobook, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I just didn't have a ton of time to listen yesterday. And I did go swimming at my parents' before we started The Bachelorette, but I only managed to read like 10 pages because I didn't want to bring the book with me into the pool because people were like swimming and the dogs were jumping in. I didn't want to get my book wet. So I started Spindle by E.K. Johnston. I have not read the synopsis of this or anything, but it's, I believe, a Sleeping Beauty retelling. I will report back once I know a little bit more, but this is a standalone. This is a standalone, so that's good. So I have not started series yet. However, my picture today being this was one I took at my mom's house because I had a little bit of a dilemma. I normally have some pictures scheduled in advance, but this readathon is like the second hardest readathon to take pictures for. I think Galaxy-a-thon still beats it for trickiest, but this one in particular is hard just because there are so many options for the style of the book. And while it is kind of more fairy tale themed overall, there are many different types of retelling. I always want the pictures to be like a little bit more captivating and interesting than just like me holding them up to my bookshelves. For you guys, that's totally fine. It totally works. But since I'm the host, I always want the pictures to be a little bit more fun to look at. So I try to do them like themed and stuff. I thought the columns at my mom's house yesterday were kind of good to take a picture in front of because I have places and ideas for photos, but I need to go there. And I wanted to go there with you guys during the vlog. So I didn't have any photos in advance except for my TBR and the giveaway photos. So I took my current read yesterday with my mom's columns in front of her house because I thought, I don't know, they gave kind of like an elegant house vibe. And Eyes Like Stars is a Shakespeare book. That is the audiobook I'm going to be starting next. So I put that up for current read because I just didn't think this would look quite as pretty. I'm going to explain that. But tomorrow, my mom and my sister's fiance and I are going to Disneyland for the day, so I'm going to take some books with me and take some pictures while we're in Disneyland. I'm going to get some there, and then we have some other things that we have planned for the week that I think will be really good for photos. So it is 12:30 now on Tuesday, and my plan for today is to reset everything. Tuesdays for me are always kind of like a reset week, like figuring out if I need groceries or meal prepping and house supplies and all that kind of stuff. Because we were on vacation not too long ago, and then last week I was in that full-on zombie mode, like possibly had a stomach bug, I don't know. I have gotten hardly anything done in the past 2 weeks. So we're gonna do a full-on reset. So for the next little bit, we're gonna spend the next like hour and a half to 2 hours deep cleaning the house, doing the dishes, doing the laundry. I have a big project that we're doing in my office. You guys can see there are gaps everywhere. This is my retelling shelf, so I have a bunch of those books in the living room. I am going through and picking out books to do a giant unhaul video because I'm getting ready to switch my shelves around for fall. I only have like one video to film besides the reading vlogs before I need to start filming fall and Halloween content. The announcement for Not So Scary-a-thon is going to come up, I think, before this readathon is over because it's coming up really quickly. So before we change all the shelves over, because I normally flip the books backwards to give like a spookier vibe, and I put like all of my spooky TBR books in my bedroom and it's the whole thing. I'm going through all of my books and doing a big unhaul. I'm going through all the different piles everywhere. We're going to do a huge thing to kind of reset because it's gotten a little bit out of control. I have books in like all the other rooms, and I was supposed to get another shelf, but I haven't found one that I really liked to put in our guest room, so we're just gonna unhaul for now. That's the last portion of the cleaning I'm gonna do today after I do like the laundry and the bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. So while we do that, I'm going to listen to my audiobook. I will check back in when I have more to say. We're gonna take a break at some point and like go on the hammock and read and have just kind of like a at-home reset day. So that's it for now, and I will talk to you soon. Forgive my fan in the background. The garden is absolutely wild right now. I need to do so much work, but it's just been so hot in the middle portion of the day. So this plant is called the Tremoncino squash. Look at these, you guys. I showed them in my mermaid marathon video. These I'm letting go to winter squash. You can pick them like when they're green and younger. I have these two. I've got one here, and then I've got one over there, but the plant is actually from this garden bed and is going all the way over here through this garden bed and down and around. So it looks really good on the fresher portion, but if you go to the beginning, it definitely looks dead. So I'm gonna pull it sometime soon, but I'm just letting these guys kind of harden. They're supposed to taste kind of like butternut squash. Then we have our nice little green bean forest, which I've never done before. I put like a trellis here because I accidentally planted pole beans that kind of vine out like this. And apparently I planted way too many, but it has been really fun. I need to kind of push it back a little. And they look amazing. Good morning, happy Retoladathon day 3. actually almost noon on Wednesday. I have been running around trying to get ready because we are headed to Disney today. My mom's on her way to pick me up and we're gonna spend the like late afternoon, early evening at Disney. So I'm gonna take you with me. We're gonna try to do some like retelling fantasy themed things. I'm gonna get some photos for the week for the readathon. I did finally finish this today. I was hoping to finish it way sooner than this. Like, I'm not doing the best on my reads so far. I did start a new physical read last night and I did start a new audiobook today, but I will talk to you about all of that probably tomorrow because I really need to get going. So take you around Disney, show you all the fun things, so that'll be a good time, and then I will do a check-in with you later. Happy RETOLADATHon day 4. Where has the week gone? I have not had a proper check-in with you guys, so let's rewind a little bit. So Tuesday night, I actually did a reading sprint with my friend Claire. I don't normally do reading sprints, but she was like, I'm really trying to read 30 minutes a day. I've kind of gotten out of it. And I was like, I'll do it with you during RETOLADATHON. But I knew I wouldn't be able to do it Monday and I knew I wouldn't be able to do it Wednesday. So we're like, we'll do it Tuesday and then hopefully for the rest of the readathon. So I was going to read Spindle by E.K. Johnston. Then I found out it was a companion novel to her other retelling, which was like 1,000 Nights, which is like 1,001 Nights retelling. I don't know if they're connected at all, but I was like, we'll just wait and start something else. So I started Mask of the Red Death, Bethany Griffin. So this is part of a duology, a young adult duology, more old school. This is a retelling of Mask of the Red Death, a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know that I've actually ever read an Edgar Allan Poe poem. I know it's shocking because I love like Halloween. So I don't really know much about it. We may have to read it depending on how long it is. But this one is basically got like a Gothic Victorian vibe, although I think it might be set in the future, which I love when we have like a 2221, but then we're like back in this like Gothic Victorian era. And there is like this plague and people were dying really, really quickly. And that's really all I know. I'm assuming there's some kind of like magical or paranormal or zombie-esque thing that is going to happen. We also have this debauchery club where beautiful dresses, glittery makeup, and tantalizing ways forget all. So I don't know if it's kind of like a brothel. I'm not sure. And we're following Arby and she's gonna like fall in love with like the owner's son of the club or something like that. So I'll let you guys know if there's like paranormal elements. I got 35 pages in, so considering that I have hardly physically read anything in like a month, we're calling it a win. Then early yesterday morning, I finished Of Beast and Beauty. You guys, this was excellent. It was such a good retelling. It was very unique. We have like enchanted roses. We have these monstrous creatures that separate the like smooth skinned people from these like cursed tainted people. They have these domes that keep them out, and then we find out that they're not actually what the people think in the city. And our main character is blind and she winds up basically falling in love with one of the monstrous creatures, but he is being held captive in her kingdom, so it's a little bit of a twist on it. We're also following the POV of this guy named Beau, whose dad is like an advisory to our main character because she is the princess. Her dad has recently been killed by the monstrous and she's about to take over, and Beau is kind of like after her for the role of king basically, but he's like a Gaston like character, but he's very well developed, and I liked getting the point of view of him, the beast, and our main character. Isra is the main character. So I really liked this. This was like a solid 4 stars. Again, it had heavy One Dark Window vibes, but its own unique thing. Such a different style retelling because it had all those fairy fairy tale fantasy element, but it also felt like a tiny bit futuristic with the way that they were like in the domes in the kingdoms. Lots of magic, lots of curses and things. So this one does have a curse in it and is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So we get to mark off that it's a curse and a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I am going to try to get at least 3 bingo squares, but as many as we can, and we're going to do all 5 of the reading challenges as well. So a little bit of a slow week, but off to a good start. Solid 4 stars. I also got a really nice picture of this yesterday at Disney in front of Belle's restaurant, so that'll come up like later in the week. And then I started Eyes Like Stars. Because I use this as my current read photo, I really want to get to this one. I try to only post books that I have read or am going to read very, very soon on my Instagram. There's almost nothing that I haven't read on there because I like to recommend things and let you guys know what's up. So this is part of a young adult trilogy. It is very silly and fun. Like the other one has a more mature vibe about it. This one is like silly and a good time. We have multiple narrators for the audiobook. We have Beatrice Shakespeare, and then we have all of these different like characters. There's like Cobweb, Moth, and Mustard Seed from Midsummer Night's Dream. We also have Ariel from The Little Mermaid, and there's like different characters and they all work in this playhouse that's kind of magical. I'm not really sure what's happening because I'm only a half an hour in. This is only an 8-hour audiobook, so it will only take me about 4 hours to finish. I'm hoping to get very close to finishing this today, although it is already noon, so we're a little bit behind. But it's very silly and fun, and I really like the narrator because the little fairies will come in and kind of bother her, and she's like dyeing her hair blue and things are like falling apart, and it's told in acts. So this is considered Act 1, I believe, and then book 2 is Act 2, book 3 is Act 3, which is really cool because that's how the Shakespeare plays are done. And I did a lot of Shakespeare in high school. I was in Romeo and Juliet, Midsummer Night's Dream, Two Gentlemen of Verona. I would go see a lot of the shows, so I always have a fondness for Shakespeare, so I will let you guys know. It's a fun, silly time. Yesterday we went to Disney. We had a good time, but at the same time, it was a little bit of a disaster. So last month, my credit card got stolen, like online. Like it was still in my wallet, but somehow digitally it got stolen, and so I had to replace it. And I was a responsible adult, and as soon as I got the new card in, I went on and I changed all of like my subscriptions, all of my bills, everything over to the new card. And I did it on Disney's website because we have an annual pass, and I knew that like the pass comes out every month, and it said that I had successfully changed it. And I even made sure, because Disney.com is not the same as like Disneyland, so I made sure that it was changed in all the right ways. It even had it on my Disneyland app. It had the right credit card, so I thought that I had done a good job. And then we go to the park. We decide to go later to kind of avoid the heat, so we get there at like 1:30. We're having lunch, but we're having lunch at Pixar Hotel, which is a new hotel part of Disneyland, and it is outside of the park, so you don't need a ticket to get into it. So we went and had food there. A lot of times the Disneyland and Disney World hotels will have like better food. There's still good food in the park, but the hotels do a really good job. In general, hotels have really good food. It's kind of surprising. We checked out the Pixar Hotel, so we were there until like almost 3. It was like a long thing. So we finally go, it's like 3 o'clock, we're gonna go get in the park. I scan my pass and it's like, no, there's an error. I look on my app and it's like, your account is delinquent from not paying. I don't have an email from them. Nowhere on the website did it say anything. So I had to call, get out of line, call. I changed my card over, but she's like, it's not gonna change in the app for a while, so you'll have to go to guest services. I go to the hotel that we're at, and the guest services are like, no, you're gonna have to go to downtown Disney, which is in between all the parks, the ticket booth, which is like probably like a 10-minute walk. And I was like, ugh. So I go to the ticket booth. There's only like 8 people in line, but it is taking like 25 minutes per person to go through. It's taking forever. We are in the blazing hot sun. It's 90 degrees. I'm in the direct sun. I'm so annoyed that I'm like wasting time standing in line in the direct sun for doing this. And I'm literally waiting. The person ahead of me, they've been talking to her for like 25 minutes. I'm the next one to go, and I look at my app and it's no longer grayed out, and it's like the account is not an error anymore. But I was kind of nervous, so I stood like 10 more minutes because I wanted to make sure. And then I just got fed up, and I was like, you know what? If I can't go in, I'm just gonna hang out in downtown Disney because there's food and shopping and like all kinds of stuff down there, and we just won't go to the park today. It was already 4 o'clock. So I go, all my family is off. My mom and my sister and her fiance are off doing things in the park because I didn't want them to have to wait for me. And I go, and it lets me into the Disneyland park. But I was really annoyed because I wish someone had just told me that it was gonna take like 40 minutes to an hour and then it would appear on my account, because I just assumed that it wouldn't update for like a day and they were gonna have to give me like a paper ticket ticket. But if I had known that, I would have gone like shopping in downtown Disney and like hung out. So we get into the park, it's like 4:15, and at this point I'm like, I need a Dole Whip, which is like this pineapple sorbet that Disney's kind of famous for. And I was like, I'm so freaking hot. I had no intentions of getting dessert that day, but I was like, I need a Dole Whip. We go and get a snack, we get a Dole Whip, we get some tea. Thank goodness I brought like a tea jug. And we basically just kind of like walk around and shop. We had a good time, but like I didn't want to like sit in line to do a ride or anything because I was kind of annoyed. And sometimes it's just kind of a wash. When you go like later in the day, like sometimes you just gotta call it good. So I did get a couple of things at the store, and I got a tchotchke, as we call it, at one of the popcorn stands that I really wanted, and I thought it wasn't coming out till Halloween, but it was there and I got it and I was so excited. So I'll show you in a second. So that made the day like better, but we only stayed till like 6:30, 6:45, and then we left. Jeff met me and my mom in downtown and we went and had dinner together, which I completely spaced. I didn't really film even very much because I spent so much time like in line. I forgot to film when we were eating. So hopefully I got a few footage things for you guys, but it was just kind of a disaster. I did, however, get my photos, which was like the main reason I wanted to go. So I got a photo in front of Rapunzel's tower, the castle, and the Beauty and the Beast tavern. So I do have photos for the week, which is good. And thank goodness I have a pass, and I'm so lucky that that was like not my Disney experience for like my one time a year or one time every 8 years that I go. Anyway, that was why we didn't have as much filming and things as I would normally have. So it is noon today. I'm gonna go and listen to my audiobook. I just filmed a giant unhaul. I think the unhaul will be up by the time you're seeing this. I'll link it up in the cards and down below in the description if it is. But I basically will go through every pile. I have piles for different readathons that I have not hauled yet, but I keep them in a closet. And if they work for certain themes, I will do hauls. I went through everything, every book pile, every bookshelf to figure out some books to unhaul to make some space. So they're everywhere now. And I need to like reorganize them, put them away, and then go through all my unhaul stacks and send pictures to friends to see if they want any of them, and then put them in boxes to take to the bookstore or little free libraries or wherever I'm going to take the particular ones. So that is what I am doing today while I listen to my audiobook, cleaning and organizing books. How fitting. And at some point I will sit down and do some more reading and then make dinner and like take Ledge on a walk and all that kind of stuff. So that's what's happening. Let me show you what I got yesterday and then I'll quit rambling and we'll get on with our day. So I got some Wonderland tea because this is my favorite Earl Grey tea right now, which is unfortunate because I can only get it at the park. This is the Wonderland tea, so it's on point for today, and this is a creamy Earl Grey blend. So it's delightful, and it comes in this really fun container that you can move the characters around. But I got some more of this, which is on theme. And then I got a 3-pack of the Wonderland tea. Creamy Earl Grey, watermelon mint, and lemon ginger. I think I'm gonna keep one of these two that I haven't tried before, and then we're gonna use the Creamy Earl Grey for the giveaway because it's a little small thing I can put in the giveaway box, and one I might save for a friend too. So I thought that was fun. Pretty much everything for the giveaway I purchase myself and add to the giveaway. Sometimes friends will send me like extra stuff from like Fairy Loot boxes and things, but I try to keep like a budget for them since it's all coming from me and I don't really make any money on BookTube or anything. It's all just for fun. So I really try to make them really good though. So make sure you check out those giveaways on Instagram because I put a lot of love and money, heart into them, and I try to make them really great. The Retoladathon is a little bit smaller than the other ones because it's just a little harder for me to find things for it, but I try really hard. And then I found the Hatbox Ghost, and he is a sippy cup, you guys. Because I am a small child, he has a straw. So, and he has a little carrying case, so I will definitely be using this during Not So Scary-thon Halloween time. If you are new to my channel, I absolutely love Halloween and fall. I don't like really gruesome things. I love like slightly spooky, mystery, creepy, but not like super gory vibes. And look, you can't see him light up super well, but he laughs and things like that, which is really, really fun. And I do have a Haunted Mansion book that would be considered a retelling, but we're gonna save that for Halloween time. But I wanted this so badly. He's so cool. You can see him, he kind of lights up. Yay! Okay, enough rambling. I'm gonna get to cleaning and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, happy Retoladathon day 5. It is 1 p.m. on Friday. Okay, I don't know what is going on with this year. Hike-a-thon went so well. Galaxy-a-thon went decently well. The random-a-thons, not so great. Mermaid Marathon, kind of not so great. This one, not so great. Like, I have just been in a funk and I am finally feeling like myself today. I think because I've had a couple of green juices the last couple of days and they finally like kicked in and rejuvenated me. I did almost nothing yesterday. I was so sleepy. I don't know why. Sometimes that happens after Disney days, but I feel like it was just the allergies. I have really bad summer allergies. So I didn't listen to more than like 20 minutes of my audiobook. And what you saw last was Jeff took me to the mall because I wanted to go to Hot Topic and see if they had like the Disney Halloween stuff. And they had a few things. So we just kind of did like a little late night excursion. But I took Jeff to go to the park on a walk. He hasn't had a walk in a couple of days. And it was a little bit cooler in the morning today. So we went and had like a nice walk. And I picked a new audiobook. So I'm enjoying this. It's full cast. It's very quirky and silly, but I was just not in the mood to binge listen to it because it was like wacky and silly. It just wasn't working for me to binge read. So I am going to continue to read it because it's not very long and I am enjoying it. I don't want that to turn you guys off. I just was like, I want to try something else and see if I can just like plow through it. And I'm so glad I did because I started Stung by Bethany Wiggins. This is a sci-fi kind of dystopian retelling of Sleeping Beauty. It is really cool. It's set in this world where I don't know if there was like a plague or an illness, but everybody took this vaccine and it turned majority of the population, especially the younger people, into these monstrous creatures that would literally like, I think they would like eat people and stuff. Like it got wild and they turned into these vicious monsters. And so our main character wakes up and she has been asleep basically for 4 years. I'm not really sure why, but she's 13 and she's kind of thrust into what's happening. Like it was kind of happening towards the end of whenever she last remembers. And then she just wakes up 4 years later at 17 and has to try and survive and kind of slowly learn about what's happening with the world. It's very dangerous to be a girl in this world, partially because they're trying to repopulate everything. Girls are very, very like sought after and used and abused, and so she pretends to be a boy and this whole like adventure happens. I'm really liking it because it's a different style of retelling. It's that sci-fi dystopian rather than a fairy tale, but it has like the Sleeping Beauty elements, mostly just her being like woken up into this kind of crazy world. I haven't noticed any other similarities yet, and bees are extinct, I think, in this world, or almost extinct. I'm not sure why. It's just like a bad situation, okay? It's like apocalyptic. I'm over halfway through. So I took Ledge on a walk. I came back. I've been cleaning this morning and I was like, I don't want to stay here like all day and clean and organize, even though I kind of need to because I didn't do it yesterday. And my friend Claire texted me and asked if I wanted to go to lunch. She's driving down to go to lunch with me. So that'll take probably a couple hours and then I'll come back and I'll try to finish this because I think I have less than 2 hours left. So I'm not doing great with finishing my 5 books for the week, but I'm hoping I can maybe get 4 in, maybe, if we play our cards right. And I'll continue to listen to this as well. I'm in a much better mood now, good spirits. I was just not feeling very like readathon motivated, but I think we're getting there finally. I'll go take you guys with me, go to lunch and come back and hopefully read some more. And I'll either check in with you later today or after I have finished this, either tonight or tomorrow. That is my update. I'll see you soon. happy Retoladathon day 7 and the final day. It is Sunday morning at 8 a.m. I have Ledge with me. Jeff is putting gas in the car. I have my book with me, which I have not read any more physically. I have barely read any on audiobook. This has been kind of a disaster week. I've been feeling exhausted because my summer allergies have just hit me like extra hard this year, but we're trying to push through. I'm still enjoying the reads that I'm reading. I'm just not reading a lot, which I always tell all of you that even if you read one book, it's a success. I just have like different standards for myself, as we usually do. So I didn't get a chance to check in yesterday. We went and had a breakfast, walked around a little bit, took some pictures at that old World Center, which was really cool. And then we went to my sister's play in the evening and we did not do much else. So today we are going to this very cool hiking trail that's supposed to kind of look like a castle tower, which I've wanted to go to for a while. And then we're going to this really famous inn called the Mission Inn, and it's also got like kind of a castle-y vibe, and I haven't seen it in the daytime. Jeff's here now. I haven't seen it in the daytime. So we're going to take some pictures. We're going to take some video. We might go eat somewhere or get some coffee or something. We're trying to get this done before it gets like super hot. And then we're going to come home and hopefully not crash too hard. So I have my book with me. No promises though. And I'll just take you guys with us. It is now August, Monday 19th. I did not get another chance to check in with you guys last night. Hopefully this reading vlog was still fun with all of the B-roll and everything. Friday, my friend came down and we went and had lunch and coffee, and then she came over and hung out, and we were kind of hanging out for a long time. So by the time she left, I had to make dinner and I just kind of hung out, and I didn't get like a ton of reading done that day at all, maybe like an hour or so. And then Saturday we went and took some pictures in this one area that I like to go to. Jeff and I had breakfast and we just kind of walked around. Then we came home and I just completely crashed again and kind of just chilled out on the couch. Again, didn't do a ton. And then yesterday I destroyed us all because I wanted to go to this hiking trail that had this kind of like fairy tower castle thing happening. And online it said it was an easy hike, and technically it was, but it was extremely steep. It was a warm day. We went at 9 and it was only like 76, 77, but it was starting to get fairly hot and we had to go uphill the entire first like mile and a half. So it was kind of knocked us all out. And then I had to go meet someone to pick up something that I got for Halloween that you guys will see in upcoming videos. We also went to this historic inn called the Mission Inn in Riverside. I wanted to like have lunch there and take a bunch of photos and things, but it kind of wasn't working out with Ledge and just like the timing of everything. So I got a couple pictures and we kind of walked around, but we did not get home until almost 4 o'clock, and Jeff and Ledge like completely crashed and fell asleep. I actually felt really good. I don't know if I needed the hike as like a reset, but I came home and I finished an audiobook and I got halfway through another one. I finished Stung, and then I started What Monstrous Gods, which bad timing because both of these are loose Sleeping Beauty retellings, but I really wanted to get to this one for the week. I'm loving it, by the way, but we are going to talk about that in the upcoming reading vlog, so week 2. Stay tuned for that. I've only technically finished 2 books for this week, probably my lowest ever, but I enjoyed both of them. So I only hit the Sleeping Beauty and the Beauty and the Beast prompts on the bingo board, and I think I only hit 1 reading challenge, but we'll talk about that more next week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow along on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl, and I will see you guys next time on The Bright Side.